So my last day in Singapore, or my last night, was kind of crazy. And I talked about what I did during the daytime in my last video, so I'm going to talk about what happened at nighttime because I literally walked about 12 or 13 miles my last day in Singapore. I wanted to reset. I wanted to see nature. There's these huge parks in Singapore. And so I went to the Singapore Botanic Gardens the first part of the day, and then I took a little break, and then I went out that evening and I went and saw the, the Gardens by the Bay at Marina Bay. And so these are like futuristic gardens. They have those huge like metal trees that are all lit up. I got to see this beautiful light show in the trees, and before that I had enough time to go into the cloud forest. So it's like this big, almost like a biodome full of plants and mist, and the best part of it is this giant waterfall that comes down. I can't remember how many stories tall it is. I want to say they said it was like 3 stories high. And the coolest part of that experience was that they're doing Jurassic Park theme inside the cloud forest. So not only did you have this beautiful botanical garden, this giant waterfall, there was also like live animatronic, I shouldn't say live, there was animatronic dinosaurs inside this big botanical garden spaced around, and so it was Jurassic Park themed, and I got to see Tyrannosaurus Rex getting all wild and crazy. I got to see the, oh, now I'm gonna space all their names. Anyway, got to see several different dinosaurs, you know, in their habitat, and some of them moving, some of them shaking, making noises, blinking their eyes. What? And then towards the end they did an actual like show, I want to say, where they brought out one of the raptors, I think it was, and do some tricks and things like that, and it was just so fun. It was so fun to see the little kids like watching this real life looking dinosaur you know, follow commands and do a couple tricks and then get all wild and crazy, and then they have to put it away. So that was exciting because the cloud forest itself in Gardens by the Bay is an amazing sight to see. You do have to pay to get in. I think for the cloud forest and the flower dome, I want to say was around 50 Singapore dollars, so it was roughly like 46-ish, 45, 46 US dollars. Not too expensive. I feel like well worth the money, especially, as I said, because I got to see the Jurassic Park theme of the cloud forest. Without Jurassic Park in it, again, it's this huge, beautiful botanical garden. The waterfall is like the star of the show, and you actually kind of go up these walkways that just go up through the forest, so you can walk kind of like among the treetops, and then you go down and there's kind of like this crystal area, and then you keep walking down, and it just gives you these glorious views. There's history written about cloud forests and like how many there are in the world, and how long they take to grow. So that was super special to be in this you know, man-made place, but like very well thought out, put together garden. And then I headed over to the Flower Dome, and now granted, this is like later in the evening, so it's darker in the Flower Dome. I'm sure by daylight it's probably much bright, of course, it's much brighter, and you can see a lot of the flower colors and things like that. But being there in the evening kind of gave it this like moodiness that was really cool, and it was set to like a Asian theme. I want to say Japanese theme, because they had a lot of the cherry blossoms in there and they were blossoming, and so they had that theme going on, and that portion of it really well lit and just super cool. Just different. Again, like with Jurassic Park and the Cloud Forest, they had the actual dinosaurs set up, and they had like the Jurassic Park Jeep in the trees. And so here they also had, because of the cherry blossom theme, they had like not picnic tables, but like tables set up with like the Japanese style teacups, and they had a traditional style rickshaw like laid up in the trees, and just all sorts of like magical little touches around the garden. And then beautiful flowers, beautiful trees, and it's all kind of set up by different regions. Like they had like a South African region, and they had a Mediterranean region. I want to say they had a Southern California region, which was pretty wild. There was a lot of like citrus trees and cabbage and lettuce and mint growing, all sorts of stuff. And there was even like grapevines growing. So the Flower Dome was really cool. Again, I feel like by day it's probably a bit better in that you can see more of the colors and things, but by night it had a really nice cool moodiness going on to it. Made it over to the Super Tree Grove, where there are these giant grove of trees all lit up, and I made it just in time for the light show. So they have music going and lights going to the music, and everyone's like sitting down on the ground just staring up at the show, and it was so cool. And if that wasn't enough, I ended up making it around to the Bayside, and I was able to catch that light show in Marina Bay. I think it's called the Spectra show. And the laser lights and everything, and the water, and the way they use the lights and the water to create like a whole picture was just incredible. So this whole evening was just full of walking, because I mean, I took the transit down to Gardens by the Bay, but then the rest of it I walked. And I even walked all the way back across Helix Bridge and back to my apartment, hotel, whatever you want to call it. And yeah, I couldn't believe, by the time I got home, I was so thrilled with just how full my day was of nature and color and vibrant lights and cool, just colorful shows. The light show, the water, the city, it was just magical. And I couldn't believe how exhausted I was, and I couldn't believe how far I had walked all day, because even though I used public transit to get to each place, I still did tons of walking within the places, and then, as I said, walking home. And again, I cannot stress how much Singapore has it dialed with the public transportation, walking. Like, The sidewalks are big enough. You can walk down the streets. The bridges, the pedestrian bridges, so you don't have to be walking with traffic. But if you are on a bridge with traffic, there's so much room to walk on the bridge with traffic. And yeah, I got my steps in. I got my steps in real big that day. So, oh, it was a great day. It was wild, and I'm gonna put some pictures up so you can kind of see everything that went on. Hope you have a good one. That's my story, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.